Hi everyone, welcome back to iDippedThat Nails. Today I am making a set to do a mani, quadruplets with my ambassador friends over at iDippedThat. So we are going to be using Ciao and a glitter. So it's a Ciao and glitter collab and kind of a mani twin, but I think there's 4 or 5 of us. So I'm using Ciao, which is just this really great teal color. I think it might chrome. I feel like I've said that in every video, so I really need to get on the will it chrome. I could do a whole video series on all of the ones I've said. And I'm going to be pairing it with TTYL, Talk to You Later, which is a silver glitter with a blue fine glitter mixed in. You saw when I just showed it on camera. The blue kind of shows up as it sparkles and shines, kind of like a reflective color changing element. So I'm really excited about how these are going to look paired, and I decided to add in some color blocking just to give a little bit of variety. We're each going to put our own spin on Ciao by pairing it with different glitters. So this will be fun to see what everybody else comes up with. So I started with kind of just this stripe color blocking using my color blocking tape. I got mine off of, I think, Amazon or Shein. And then I'm going in with these color blocking stickers from Joyful Nails, and I got them from Temu. They are really inexpensive, but keeping in mind that they are inexpensive, the stickiness on them is a little hit or miss. This one was actually better. You see in the video it just came up, but that's because I had it stuck down and then realized I wanted to move where it was. So if I hadn't moved it, it probably would have stayed the way I needed to, but it did a pretty good job and it gave me the color blocking sort of guide that I needed. So I noticed that the other day, someone on one of the nail boards had used stickers similar to these, or maybe it was tape similar to what I used on that first nail. And they were curious, how do I pull the tape up? So these are my suggestions, my pro tips from Not a Pro. When you put your base liquids on, or if you're doing the gel method, it would be the same for that. Don't try as best as you can not to get the liquids on the tape. This is totally a mistake that I made when I first started using this tape. I just ran my brush right over thinking, oh, the liquids won't get on the nail underneath or on the tip underneath, whichever you're doing, and then I'll just pull the tape up. But because these liquids are basically super glue and they do dry, even if you have a slower drying liquid, they are drying still pretty fast. The tape and the dip that gets onto the tape kind of gets cemented down onto the nail, even though there's none of the color underneath the tape. So my tip is to use your brush, put your brush down on your tip or nail and push it towards the tape line or the sticker line, whichever you're using, and then dip that in and try not to get your base liquids on your tape or your color blocking stickers. You can see in this video that if I have a pattern where it's kind of a color blocking in the middle, sort of like that first one I did, or the one that I just finished, I do dip it in 2 separate waves almost. So I do the top half, then I go and do the second. And that is my tips, my pro tips from Not a Pro on how to get this color blocking to work successfully. And then the great thing is if you pull that tape up and it's gotten a little bit under the tape or the sticker, you can usually use a cuticle pusher to kind of push it into the place that you want it, or even your fingernail. You can see I'm doing that here. I'm just kind of pulling off any of the dip that got a little bit under my sticker to make a more defined line. What I really like too about this color blocking method is that because the dip is, even if it's not thick, I mean, I use pretty thin layers, but there is a defined change in how thick it is once you've put a layer or 2 on. So when I go in to do the Talk to You Later or TTYLN, or TTYL, you will see that I don't need a sticker or a guide because I've already created that space. There's kind of like a little gutter. You can kind of see, it's hard to see the depth here, but when I go in here, all I'm gonna do is take my Dip Liquids brush and run it down that middle section. And what I love about the tape that I found on either Amazon or Shein is that it is about the width of my base brush. So I am going to go in and do a second layer, but again, I don't need to worry so much about getting my liquids on the tape, so I just avoid the tape. And then as soon as I finish this second layer, I am going to pull that tape off. That helps too. So if you know you're only going to do one layer, or you know that you don't need the tape there to kind of guide your second layer, you can take the tape off as soon as, the sooner you can take it off, the better, the easier it will be. And here we go. So you'll see when it comes off, there is like this little gutter, this little space, and that's where I'm going to put TTYL. So this is just looking so great right now. I'm really liking sort of this reverse French tip with this curve on it. It kind of reminds me of like if you had a high necked dress with like a string of necklaces or something like that. I think it's really fun with these two colors to give it just a little bit of extra fun. And I am going to go in with some striping tape. I have these vinyl nail stickers from Kozmik Nails, and they are amazing. I have striping tape. It's very inexpensive striping tape, and it's not great. These vinyl nail stickers from Kozmik Nails are amazing. They're a sticker, so they already have a lot of stick to them. I do use a little bit of my clear jelly stamper base only on the part of the sticker where I touched it with my fingers a little bit too much, and I removed just enough of the stick that it was giving Lee a little bit of a hard time. But you'll see when we get to that part that that is at the very end. I cut the sticker basically into 4 parts, and it's only on that 4th part that I've kind of manhandled that I needed just a little extra stick from my clear jelly stamper sticky base coat. And then, ooh, I'm just looking at this video and thinking about how great these look. I hope that you think they look great too. These are from iDippedThat. They are running a huge sale right now. If you're seeing this and it is not yet the end of day on July 5th, it is 60% off of everything in their store, which is such a great deal. They have their new Dip Liquids formula. Unfortunately, they are still waiting on the gel liquids to come back in stock. They have placed that order. It's just been, as we've seen over the last couple of years, that sort of slow delivery time from getting things abroad, kind of still the ramifications of COVID and things like that. So they are on order. That order's been placed, but we're still, as customers, waiting on that. So just hopefully not too much longer, and you'll definitely hear from me and the other ambassadors as well as the owners when they get those gels back, because I know a lot of people are really excited about them. So this is an excellent time if you want to try their dip liquids. They are advertised as being low odor, but I don't get dip flu, so I can't speak on if they will irritate your dip flu or not. I know there are several people who also get dip flu who have used them with no problem. But again, everyone is going to be different and have different reactions. So it's a great time to try them because I think, well, if they're 60% off, right, that's really inexpensive. And then they have been running a 50% off too, and they have their $5 or their $10 fistfuls, which is so fun. You can have them pull your fistful live, which is excellent. So fun to watch, so fun to see what you're gonna get. So right now we're just dipping into TTYL, and this was a really fun dip. It had all of this sparkle. I did tap it to bring more sparkles up to the top, and I am gonna do 2 layers of this on both the nail I just finished and then when I do the full thumb in this color, just to make sure I have a full even dispersion of those little blue flakes that are in there. Well, they're not flakes, they're glitters. But one layer was all it really needed on these other nails. And this dip would also be really cute as an ombre, even maybe like a peekaboo if you had a really kind of pale or pastel jelly. So there's a lot of really fun things that you could do. I think if you sprinkled it on really lightly, it could even be used as a topper on top of a really bold color. I just absolutely adore a dip that can be used in so many different ways. I like the versatility. It's so fun to see all of the different things that other people do with a color. So if you've used TTYL or Ciao, definitely post those manis on the iDippedThat Facebook page. And then also you can put them in the non-branded boards. I love seeing what other people are doing. That's my favorite part of being into nails, is like the nail community and how kind people are, and just sharing suggestions and tips and things like that. Just one of the reasons I wanted to start making these videos is, one, I thought it would be fun. I'd done a little bit of video editing in some different classes that I'd been in and different things that I'd done as a teacher. So I thought it'd be a fun way to flex that creative muscle. But then also the teacher part of me just loves to share. I love to share what I'm doing. If I have tips and tricks that I've learned over these last almost 2 years, I am so excited to share them with you all so that you can love this hobby as much as I do. So if you ever have a question, you see something in any of these videos that I'm doing that you'd like more explanation on, I know people are watching these that have even more experience than I do. So I don't want it to sound like I'm, telling you how to do things that you already know. But if there are things, please let me know in the comments, or you can direct message me on Instagram at Hooks and Nails. I would love to see what you all are doing. So I'm just finishing up this second layer on this one. I felt like the glitter on just the very tip was a little less than the rest of the nail. So I wanted to be a really even coat. And just trying to clean up that line just a little bit. And here they are. They're looking really great. So I am going to give each of these a layer of clear. I am using my Clear as Day by KMG. It is an excellent clear. iDippedThat also has a great clear. So if you are grabbing these two colors, you could grab their clear as well. The big thing with clear, my pro tip from Not a Pro for clear, is you have to use your stiff brush after it has fully dried so that you can get off any of the excess. That will keep you from having a dull or cloudy look. And especially with these glitters, you don't want any cloudiness. So here we go. I went in and I am using my stiff brush. I cut this a little bit for the video because you don't need me to see me doing it. And then I activated all of the nails. And then I got so excited about using these vinyl stickers, I forgot to buff. Luckily, you really don't need to buff with iDippedThat. They are so smooth. So it really wasn't a problem. I went in at the end and did just a little bit of buffing around the edges where I had gotten some dip powder over the edge. So I do use my cuticle nippers to cut my striping vinyl sticker tape. It was a tip that I got from a video about a year ago, and it is a great one because they can get so close to the nail, and it's just a really easy way to do that. So you can see here is the piece. So this one lays down just fine. I trim it, and then it's this very last piece that gives me just a little bit of trouble like I was talking about before, just to get it stuck down because it has lost just enough stick that it is kind of wiggling all over the place. You saw the other one so easily where I wanted to be, but I finally got it. And here I'm going in and adding that top coat. I did do a second layer of Activate and wiped it with alcohol before doing that top coat. I just figured y'all have busy lives. You didn't need to see me activate and wiping with alcohol. That's not the exciting part. I love to see the top coat on. So here they are, straighten them all out. I love how you can see that blue. It's so hard to get that in a still video, in a still picture. So they just go so well together. I love the vinyl stickers. I think it just adds a little bit of extra definition. And here is our final look. This has been By Devin. Thanks y'all for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye y'all.